So the reason that as the contractor, you want that solid agreement is because there's what's called the Homeowner Improvement or Home Improvement Consumer Protection Act, or HICPA for short. And that is kind of a branch of I don't know if you've heard of the unethical trade practices, those kinds of claims. So HICPA really protects the homeowner and could be to the detriment of the contractor. For instance, there's actually 13 specific things that a contractor has to have in their contract for it to be valid under HICPA. And if you don't have those 13 things, and some of them are, things that you just don't think of, like there's a specific phone number that you have to have on the contract for one of the state departments. If you don't have that, then the homeowner, their first claim is going to be a violation of HICPA because it's not an enforceable contract. And so you're going to have an issue right there, right off the bat. But you really want things to protect you for if the homeowner doesn't pay.
Well, let's dive into that for a second.
Sure.
Let's go into the horror story for the contractor's perspective. So I have my one sheet. So I'm, 3 of 13 checked off right in this agreement. I'm in a deficit, and we have a disagreement with the homeowner, and they come in and they bring that into court, and the courts go, this is a joke, and you are nowhere near compliant with HICMA, and what happens now? So, let's use the example of the big kitchen remodel, and the homeowner is unhappy about something. Maybe they wanted different color cabinets, or they want you to install different style cabinets. Are you now responsible to replace the cabinet? What happens in that situation, or can you give us an example?
Sure. So the cabinets are a great example because maybe the homeowner did tell you they wanted blue cabinets, and you put in green cabinets. Well, you don't have a contract that says what color the cabinets are supposed to be. And so now you have a he said, she said dispute. And they can't, a court cannot make a contractor do anything. A court can't really make anybody do anything, any kind of service, but they can be liable for damages if it's shown that, yes, the homeowner did say blue, and you didn't do a change order on the contract
right.
to signify that. Then you might be liable for paying the cost to replace those cabinets.
So now you're paying a different contractor that hopefully has their 13 points covered to go fix the work that maybe you didn't even do wrong. There's just a disagreement and misunderstanding because you didn't properly document as a general contractor. So that's, I think, important for the homeowners to understand that, first of all, don't sign that agreement because it's got red flags all over it. But if you do, you're in this kind of, well, let me go the other direction. If you're a homeowner that goes I see that this contractor, seems good, but hasn't followed these protocols, you could really take advantage of that general contractor in that situation.
Yes and no. There's a lot of, first of all, there's a lot of that. I think we'll cover that as a whole separate portion of this conversation.
Sure.
But from the homeowner's perspective, the red flag should outweigh the, I'll potentially take advantage of this, because
right.
if there's already a red flag at the contracting phase, if this company doesn't look like it has insurance, chances are by the time this job's done, this company might not even exist.
Right.
And so the person that you're going to have to go after is going to be in the wind. They're going to have no assets. It'll be messy. And so from a practical standpoint and from a psychological standpoint, from, dealing with your significant other, and, if your kitchen's in disarray for a year.
Yeah, that's not disruptive at all.
Right. You really do want to make sure that some of these boxes are checked. And you as much as it might pain you to say, hey, let me have a lawyer look at my contracting, right? My GC contract to remodel my house. Look, if you're spending $100,000 to remodel your house, what's a couple $1,000s to make sure that you're
doing it right?